Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very intriguing news when it comes to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Now, as you guys know, I usually try my best to be pretty neutral when it comes to, the really big fight versus the PlayStation and Xbox. I kind of feel like that should always be left back in like 2010, but it is always kind of fun to have that nice little friendly rivalry, especially when some people, like certain games or like certain genres better. Now, I'm always the person like up in the middle where I basically have a PC and all the consoles itself, so I'm definitely like, I'm always double dipping whenever a good game comes out. I never really mind, so I always take a lot of this stuff I say kind of in jest. But we actually have some very intriguing news, which is actually a really big win when it comes to the Xbox. So we're going to be talking about the fact that Xbox actually, surprisingly, has actually done and overdid the PlayStation 5. We're going to have some really cool sales numbers to go talk about. And as well, we really haven't seen this happen too often, although it did happen once before during Black Friday. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more just in the general topic. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Twitter link down below as well for the Twitter giveaway. We have the Twitch stream down below. We have that Weeble. We got that Coinbase down below too as well. The Amazon links in general. And of course, if you guys want to leave your thoughts and comments down below, just be nice and chill and civil. But I hope you guys will all enjoy it. So we're going to first and foremost talk about some of the more intriguing numbers when it comes to games. I'm going to talk about the big topic in 2 minutes, so I got you guys in a second. But I kind of want to talk about this too as well, because we have to kind of celebrate one of the biggest gaming wins that we've actually had a chance to see in quite some time. So every now and then we have a chance to rock out the game industry where they kind of go a little bit more on the in-depth side of games and game sales and game numbers and what's the number one game, what's the number two game, and all of that. So let's go first and talk about the really big, extremely unsurprising Elden Ring, where Elden Ring is Europe's biggest brand new IP since The Division. You can also kind of put that to pretty much in America, Japan, etc., where this game is selling like hotcakes. I'm 55, 60 hours in. I am trying my best to beat that game. I've been playing up on Twitch every night. You guys are bored, you can stay, I was going to say stay and stop by or hang out all at the same time. It was not good. But basically, it's been pretty good also since in comparison to Call of Duty Vanguard. So as you guys know, Call of Duty always just is the number one seller almost every single year. Everyone keeps on buying it. I mean, it's a goodish game. People just know the consistency. But when it comes to a game like Elden Ring, although Dark Souls has been around for a while, seeing such a big upset and so many sales is ridiculous. So the From Software game sold best on PC, which is one of me, representing 44% of total sales, then on PS5 with 27%, and then Xbox at 16%, and then finally PS4 at 13%. So it's actually comfortably Europe's biggest game of February, and was number one in most major territories with the exception of Germany, which still for some odd reason had Pokemon Legend Arceus. The second biggest launch of the game was Horizon Forbidden West 2 as well. This was throughout the entire month, and was the biggest PlayStation 5 launch outside of Call of Duty. So 59% of the Horizon sales are actually on PS5. So if you guys ever go talk about how not many people have their PS5s, we are slowly getting to the point where people can finally go get their PlayStations. Thank God it is slowly getting there, with the remainder coming in and the PS4. So you guys want to maybe chime in for a little secondary comment, which one do you guys actually go buy yourself, which just goes to highlight why Sony is continuing to release new games on its previous machine. It will apply to that for God of War 2 as well. It's also worth noting that the PS4 version of Horizon was available for slightly less than the PS5 edition, and we made 5 videos on that. We want to make sure everyone got it, so hopefully you guys were able to go get that deal. I know myself got the PS5 version from PS4. And also the best-selling game by a single format as well on one console is definitely Pokemon, which just makes a lot of sense in regards to Elden Ring 2 as well. Obviously, it's insane. And also the number 5, too, is funny enough still Dying Light 2, which has still been kind of flown around pretty good. A lot of folks keep on getting it as well. On top of that, and also PC, we had a Total War Warhammer mixed on into as well. And overall numbers, before we get in the big boy of the topic of the Xbox versus PlayStation, overall, 13.56 million games were sold in European markets, which is 8% up over February, which probably makes sense. We've actually had a lot more new games come out throughout this month, so it makes sense people be buying it. The physical market also saw 6 million games sold as well, up 11%, and just basically gaming as a whole is doing phenomenal. But the one thing that may not be doing phenomenal is the PlayStation 5. So in regards at least to Europe, and also kind of happened probably in America too as well. Now, I don't want to fully speak on behalf because I don't have the full sales numbers, but February especially was very dry, and even so far this month in March, we've been seeing a lot more Xbox Series X and especially Xbox Series S sales. So we actually did go into the Xbox, actually go in a win, and is still kind of somewhat winning as of now. Although I do want to reiterate, the total sales for the PlayStation 5 are still above it, so Xbox still has a pretty good ways to go by a few multi-million in. But the one kind of crazy thing is, if they keep on winning and they keep on producing, they keep on sending out consoles, maybe this actually might be a little bit of a, like, more of a bigger fight than we actually thought. So in terms of European console sales, the Nintendo Switch obviously is just always almost consistently number one, besides when there's like a really big restock wave of the Xbox or PlayStation. So keep that in mind. And also, a little bit of kind of sadder news, too, before we dive into other stuff. The hardware sales are actually down 32% over January and down 44% compared to last year. That would maybe make a little bit of sense because we had a really, really dry, same with Europe, February and January. Now, I think we're kind of probably getting back in the normal groove of stock and restocks, but it's kind of crazy to go and see how minimal the restocks have been. The Switch sales are actually down 14% too as well with the same month of 2021, but it's actually up 52% compared to February as well, which is all the pre-pandemic. So this is kind of the one big thing to note too, is the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X continue to struggle with stock levels. As a result, for the first time, more Xbox Series consoles were sold across Europe than PlayStation 5s. This is primarily due to the availability of the Xbox Series S model. So it's kind of like the big kind of juicy part of the video itself. This is cool. Now, I kind of always kind of skew just a little bit more on the PlayStation. I kind of like doing a little bit more PlayStation news myself, but I do try to work in a good Xbox video when there's really good news or something intriguing to go and talk about. I think the Xbox is a fantastic console, but as someone who's more on the PC side, I actually kind of just more assume my PC is basically my Xbox Game Pass machine. But when it comes to the Xbox Series S, that little bad boy has been doing good. Now, we also had a similar thing in America. This is more in the European markets, but it kind of shows up most of the world, that we also had the Xbox Series S being one of the biggest sellers for Black Friday. And that would make a lot of sense, too, because it's cheaper. Although we have some a lot more price cuts, that's also easier to produce, so it's not as intensive, say, as the PS5 or a PS5 Digital or Xbox Series X. And overall, it's just pretty much available on stores, even in America. If you were to go check Amazon or Best Buy or even probably Target, you guys can probably just walk on in and go and get one. And it's probably more so in regards that they may be able to go produce as much as they want, mainly because it's just on a lesser node based, not node, like lesser semiconductor type chips for lack of technical know-how, and it's just a lot easier to go and produce in terms of internals. I think a lot of you guys already know that, but it also kind of goes to show that actually might be a golden ticket throughout these next few years. The one big struggle though, and I may want to talk about this in a separate video, is the Xbox Series S might get obsolete as time goes on. But for right now, I think it's a very good side option. A lot of people apparently think so too as well, and because of the overall availability, a lot of Xbox is actually kind of somewhat coming back here on this big console fight throughout this generation. And of course, the Xbox Series X as well has also been having a lot more restocks. We do keep on saying we've been seeing a lot more on in-person stores, even as of today with like Best Buy and Target and all those other various locations. It's going to be a long-going thing too, because they've had a lot more walk-ins for the past few months for at least a while. Which obviously, if you guys can do that, there's less scalpers, there's less spotters, and as well, even the third-party market price for Xbox Series X's are also way lower, so it just kind of seems like they're getting more enhanced to normal consumers, which is nice to go and see. But as well, the PlayStation 5 is, I think, more, not to kind of skew on the PS5, I'm sorry in advance, but it does kind of seem like if they had the same sales numbers, like say 1 million PS5s and 1 million Xboxes, the PS5s would probably end up still selling out faster. The demand is definitely more on the PS5 side. You can kind of just go and see it from third-party and scalper prices, even though they've even made even more. But that's also okay too, because that's why they have the Xbox Series S for the mid-tier model, and also PC gaming does also eat into the actual console market too, so it's nothing bad against Xbox. But it's kind of cool to go and see that Xbox is coming clutch. They are coming back, they are overtaking the consoles, and like I said, if they kind of keep on doing this long term, there actually might be a little bit more intriguing stuff going on. It's kind of like that weird thing because they, end of the day, they do want to have Game Pass subscribers, but it does also stink because, well, if you also have them on PC, they're not going to be buying their consoles. But maybe say maybe a good thing because a lot of these companies usually say they do lose money on these sales. If you buy your own PC itself, that's more like NVIDIA or AMD having to go and deal with those prices themselves. But it's kind of cool to go and see on how much the Xbox Series X's have been floating around, how good the accessibility is, and how they also keep on helping out all the numbers for all these sales. So we got to give a good clap where credit's due, where the Xbox is actually coming in clutch and actually did go win a month. And I think that's awesome for gaming because I just want you guys getting your consoles either way. It doesn't always have to be like a who wins, who loses. I just like seeing everyone win altogether. So more stocks, restocks all around, please. Another Walmart restock soon. I would love it. And as well, funny enough, the DualShock 4 is actually one of the better accessories going on too, although a lot of the accessories are also falling down from before as well. And now, obviously, you guys can go and see Elden Ring is number 1. This game has been phenomenal. If you guys like that type of style of game, check it out. Horizon, I liked it. I wasn't sure how much people like watching my Twitch stream and stuff. Arceus was okay. I didn't mind it, but it kind of got boring after a while. And then obviously FIFA, Dying Light, and all the other various games too. I'll be very kind of curious to see the GTA numbers as well after this month is done, because as you guys know, GTA actually just had its re-release for next-gen consoles, and a few of the other various big ones like Mario Kart, Mario Party All-Stars, and all the other various ones too, like Minecraft and other Pokemon games. So I'll be very curious to see how this next few weeks and few months will go, especially when the next big update games, such as like Ghostwire Tokyo, the new Kirby game, and all that kind of come on out. We can kind of go and see how good or bad everything will be with that one. So, like I said, cool news with Xbox coming in clutch, and as well, kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below on what you guys kind of think about the game sales, all the game top lists, just so you guys can see right over there. And overall, like once again, good stuff on Xbox. Hopefully, we can keep on seeing more restocks flowing out there for all of you guys who want to get their consoles in the first place. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below, the Twitter links down below, the Twitter giveaway down below, and that Webull and Coinbase. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.